We now come to a new topic, which is that of measurable functions. So we know that if f is a function between two topological spaces x tau and x prime tau prime, so these two are topological spaces, then f is continuous. F is said to be continuous if and only if any open set in x prime, u prime, if you have any open set u prime, then f inverse of u prime is open in x. So f is continuous if and only if pre-images of open sets are open. So in the same vein, we make the following definition. So this is about measurable functions between two measurable spaces. So let x b and x prime b prime be measurable spaces, meaning that b and b prime are sigma algebras on x and x prime. Then a function f from x to x prime is called b prime measurable if you take any set e prime in b prime, then this implies that the pre-image of e prime via f belongs to the sigma algebra B. So this is very much like the definition of a continuous function, except that instead of topologies we have sigma algebras. Now so this is again a definition. A complex measurable function on a measurable space xb is a function f which takes inputs in x and gives you complex numbers such that it is B, and you take the Borel sigma algebra on C measurable. So we are equipping C with the Borel sigma algebra, which makes it a measurable space, and so f is called a complex measurable function if it is BBC measurable, meaning that if E belongs to B, it's a Borel subset of C. So elements of the Borel sigma algebra are called Borel subsets. So these are called Borel subsets, Borel or simply Borel sets in C. So if you take a Borel set in C, this implies that f inverse of E belongs to the sigma algebra B on your measurable space X. Similarly, an unsigned measurable function on xb is a function again from x, but this time it takes non-negative extended real numbers such that it is, again you take b on the for x, and again you take the Borel sigma algebra for subsets, Borel subsets of the non-negative extended reals. Since we are talking about Borel subsets of the extended real numbers, we have to specify what kind of topology we are putting on the extended non-negative real numbers. So, this is 0 plus infinity, so is equipped with the order topology on 0 infinity. So, well, order topology induced by the total order on 0 infinity. So, the order topology is defined for any totally ordered set, and it contains open intervals of the form. So, it is generated by, this is generated by sets of the form A x belonging to plus infinity such that A less than x less than b. So, here A and b can be any real number as well as plus infinity. So, this gives you a sub base of the topology, and then you can generate a topology on the non-negative real line. So, in this way we have defined what is a complex measurable function and an unsigned measurable function. So, we will be interested in both these kinds of functions, and note here that we have not considered Lebesgue measurable sets for the, or we have not considered Lebesgue sigma algebra for the space C, the complex numbers, or even 0 plus infinity. This is because, so I will put this as a remark, and it is important to highlight this fact that if you wanted to simply mimic the definition of a continuous function, and if f from R to R was defined to be measurable if it was LR measurable. So, we would take not the Borel but the Lebesgue sigma algebra on both sides. Then a continuous function f may not be measurable. A continuous function f may not be measurable. So, our definition is a bit asymmetric in the sense that we only consider the Borel sigma algebra on the target space and not the Lebesgue sigma algebra, precisely because we want continuous functions to be measurable. And very easy examples show that the pre-images of Lebesgue measurable sets under continuous maps may not be Lebesgue measurable. So, pre-images, so this is the first remark. Second remark is that pre-images of Lebesgue measurable sets may not be Lebesgue measurable under continuous maps. So, it's not difficult to give an example for this. So let me write, rather we can consider R, rather than considering functions from R to R, we can consider functions from Rn to Rm, and we can put the Lebesgue sigma algebras on Rn and Rm respectively. Here again Rm to Rm. So in this case also, pre-images of Lebesgue measurable sets under continuous maps may not be Lebesgue measurable. So this also works for R to R, but let me write it for Rn to Rm, because this example is much simpler. So suppose that you have a map from R to R2, which simply takes x to the point x comma 0. So it's an inclusion of R in R2. So this inclusion map is of course continuous. I is continuous, and if you now take non-Lebesgue measurable set, let me take the Vitali set, take a Vitali set in R, then the pre-image of, so let me call this Vitali set V, then the pre-image of V cross 0 is V under I inverse, meaning that I inverse of V cross 0 is simply V, because it's an inclusion map. On the other hand, V cross 0, this is a Lebesgue measurable, in fact a Lebesgue null set in R2 with respect to the Lebesgue measure of R2, and so measurable, Lebesgue measurable, but V is not Lebesgue measurable. So we see that even very simple continuous functions can give you the pre-image of Lebesgue measurable sets may not be Lebesgue measurable under such continuous maps. So because we want our continuous functions to be measurable, we have this condition that rather than taking the Lebesgue sigma algebra on the target space, we only consider the Borel sigma algebra, and then the pre-image of a Borel measurable set is always Lebesgue measurable. So then there is no problem, and we have that continuous functions are in fact measurable. So now let's come to some basic properties of measurable functions. So we start with a measurable space xb, and we take an unsigned measurable function f. An unsigned function meaning that the range is the non-negative extended reals. So this first property says that it is measurable if and only if these four kinds of sets, x in x such that fx greater than lambda, greater than or equal to lambda, less than lambda, and less than or equal to lambda, where lambda is any non-negative real number, these are all measurable. So rather than giving a proof, I will just mention here in one line what are the reasons. So this is equal to f inverse of the set, the open interval lambda plus infinity, and so this is open, and so this is measurable. Similarly, we can show that this is precisely the set lambda plus infinity, and this can be written as, this is written as the intersection of the sets f inverse of open intervals lambda minus 1 by k to plus infinity included where k is from 1 to infinity. So these are all open sets, and so these are measurable. So these are measurable, and so these are this is a Borel subset. So these are all measurable sets. So, the intersection is also measurable because B is a sigma algebra. So, similarly, one can show this for fx less than lambda. This is f inverse of lambda plus infinity complement, and this one is f inverse open lambda plus infinity complement. So, because B is closed under complements, we have that these are all measurable. So, the other way, on the other side, we have to show that if one of these is measurable, then let us say if the first one, if this is measurable, then f inverse of any Borel set is an element of the sigma algebra. So, this shows what we have done here is just shows that if f is unsigned measurable, then these are measurable sets. On the other hand, we have to show that if these are measurable, then it is unsigned measurable. So, to show that if x in x such that fx, let us say I will take less than lambda, this one is measurable, this implies that f inverse of E belongs to B for any Borel set E in 0 plus infinity. So, this can be shown using the fact that if you let omega to be the collection of subsets of 0 plus infinity such that f inverse E belongs to B, then I claim that omega is a sigma algebra, because f inverse of the whole interval plus 0 to plus infinity is the whole space X. So, X belongs to omega. So, X belongs to omega. F inverse of the empty set is empty. So, this implies that the empty set belongs to omega. If E belongs to omega, then E complement also belongs to omega, since f inverse of E complement is equal to f inverse of E complement. So, it is closed under complements, and if A n's are a collection in omega, then f inverse of the union n equal to 1 to infinity a n, this is equal to the union of the individual pre-images n. So, this belongs to omega. So, this shows that omega is a sigma algebra, and since now omega contains the open sets of 0 plus infinity, this implies that omega contains the Borel subsets, Borel sigma algebra as well. And so, if you have, it is enough to have measurability for open subsets to get measurability for Borel subsets. So, we have shown that this is an if and only if condition. Now, we have three more important properties. So the first one says that if E is a subset of X and the chi E is the indicator function, then it is unsigned measurable if and only if E itself is a measurable subset of X. So the proof is quite simple, and we can simply take the inverse image of an open interval alpha to plus infinity included, and note that if 0 less than or equal to alpha strictly less than 1, then this interval contains 1 but does not contain 0. So you will have the inverse image should be simply E, and if alpha is greater than or equal to 1, then this interval does not contain 1 or 0, and so this is going to be the empty set. So in both cases this is measurable, and so of course if E is measurable, then the inverse images of all these sets are measurable, and if these are measurable, then E is measurable. So in both ways we get that this indicator function is unsigned measurable if and only if E is measurable. On the other hand, if you have a complex measurable function, then the real part, so this one is the real part of f and this one is the imaginary part of f, both are functions from x to now the real numbers, and these are measurable with respect to the sigma algebra B and the again the Borel sigma algebra on R. So here f is written as REF plus IMF times the complex number I. So in this case the real part and imaginary part are measurable with respect to the Borel sigma algebra on R and the given sigma algebra B on X. So in this case we also call it real measurable function. So to show this, it's enough to note the following, that the real part is itself a function from the complex numbers to the real numbers, and it is a continuous function from C to R. And so if you take any open set U in R, then the inverse image under the real part of f of U is nothing but, so you can view this as a composition. So there is real part of f is a composition of two functions, the real part and f itself. So the inverse is just the composition reversed, so f inverse composed with Re inverse of U, and because the real part is a continuous function, this is open, and so this is an inverse image of an open set, so this is measurable. So we get that the real part is measurable and simply the imaginary part is also measurable. On the other hand, if x is now a real measurable function, then the positive part f plus, which is defined as the maximum of fx and 0, and the negative part, they are unsigned measurable, and this is again an if and only if condition. So we see that we have various equivalent conditions in terms of for f to be complex measurable and for f to be real measurable, and for an indicator function of a subset of x to be unsigned measurable. On the other hand, if the real and imaginary parts are real measurable, then we can conclude that f is complex measurable, because we have if B is an open box in the complex plane, open box in C, then we can write B as a product of two intervals, and then F inverse of B is precisely real part of F inverse of I1 intersection with the inverse of the imaginary part for I2, and these two are measurable. So F inverse B belongs to the sigma algebra B when you have an open box. Now if you have any open set V, a subset of open subset of the complex plane, then you can write V as the union of open boxes I equal to 1 to infinity. Need not even be an open box, it just needs to be a box, and this is the union of F inverse of Bi, and these are measurable, so this belongs to the sigma algebra B.